Hey everybody, Max Terps here. And the reason why I have Bang Bang in the background is because I just love this song. So yeah, disclaimer right here, I don't own this song. Um, but this version of the AUs is called Young Justice Magenta. And the reason why is because Magneta is the main character. This is the same girl, but she grew up differently. Silver Rose actually to note to add is the fact is she didn't grow up with a family. She grew up on the streets. She knows the streets very well and she knows how to survive many different situations. Magneta, although she did grow up mainly in Wayne Manor because Bruce Wayne had adopted her, she knew who Batman was for a long, long time. She's been training for a long, long time, but she does have one very fatal weakness. Because of how her parents were killed, she can't handle the sight of a gun. Like, it's bad. Like, she could go into a massive panic attack if she sees a gun, which in Gotham is kind of bad. So, the fact is, being so, she came up with this way to deliberately prevent her from being able to see a gun. But she can hear, because uh, she's trained her she's trained her hearing to the point where she could hear a gun loading from a very far distance, which puts her into full red alert. See, her mask actually covers her eyes, so it looks like she's blind, but she's actually not. So you really couldn't even tell who the heck she really was in the first place. But this also helps her when it comes to seeing a gun. But if that mask is taken off and she sees a gun, it's really bad for her. Not only that, but as an extra precaution, she also wears contact lens to make her pupils look like they're purple, not blue. But basically, the fact is, oh well, I decided on blue simply for the fact is I felt like if you were new to the story and you heard that her eyes were green, you'd immediately go to Joker. And no, not she doesn't have anything to do with Joker. It was not Joker who killed her parents. Her parents were killed in Metropolis. So no. But basically, happens is she is not exactly hard-headed, but she's kind of stubborn. And see, her family actually doesn't come from Metropolis. They were there on Metropolis visiting. Her parents actually come from very South Texas. Actually, Flower Buff to be exact. So she's an island girl. But basically, what happened was her parents went to Metropolis because her mother is a scientist, like the same in all three AUs. Her mother's a scientist. But basically, happened was they're going to this office, Star Labs, because they want to present a new like high grade defense security program, because her mother doesn't just work in gadgets, she also works in computers and coding. So they have a new security program, which could be very, very dangerous to the criminal network, considering the fact is it can detect very easy. So not only does the code get destroyed, but because of that, they in order to make sure the code doesn't get just respawned and reprogrammed, they killed both the parents, but Superman actually saves her. But basically, Superman knowing Bruce starts talking to Bruce about the girl, Magneta, and the reason why is because Kal-El, he knows that this girl could actually have high tides with the person who killed. Something seems very familiar about this man who killed him, who did get away. And basically, the fact is, in this AU, Bruce never found out who killed his parents. He's still trying to figure it out, but Gotham's crime keeps on getting higher, so he's constantly at the fighting that. So he hasn't really had the time to figure out his parents' murderer. So yeah, but basically, don't worry. There's still the quote for the movies. Don't worry. But basically, happens is she gets taken in by Bruce, and she starts living a happy life filled with mischief and magnetic color clothing. So yeah, uh, something to note is the fact is although Magnetic is very good with hand to hand, Nightwing did teach her. If you're familiar with the Bat fam, they have I think I can pronounce it right. I cannot. It's like these sticks that are like you can just pop them up and they have kind of a charge to them, and they really do pack a punch. She is very good with those, like very good. And, it's almost as if she purposely only uses melee, except for their Magneta Rose kind of petals. That's what she calls them, where they aren't exactly the function of them is the fact that if you know batarangs and birdarings or birdies, they kind of spin around and then hit their target. The whole point of these is the fact is it can hit the target more than once, or it can hit multiple targets. It's like a multi-batarang in the sense if you ever play Arkham Knight. But basically, the fact is it's kind of complicated because it's like a rose and she flings it, and then it just kind of pops up and spreads out. She's really good with the gadgets and science and also coding. And basically her goal is actually to see in her Civi persona, she does also help Wayne Tech with security and everything, and to make sure there aren't any extra hackers, which actually kind of makes her a bit of a target. But yeah, we'll get into that later in the story, don't worry. But I hope you enjoyed this video. It was a bit longer than part 1, simply because there was more stuff to go into. But I hope you enjoyed this. I'm just gonna let the song finish.